If you want to build muscle, you need to bulk. Whether I'm on social media or I'm in the gym, that's the most common advice I hear. And it's the biggest myth in fitness. You might think that this is a hot take, but I'm ready to die on this hill. Lately, I've been seeing more and more content creators share the same opinion as myself.
It'll simply make you put on weight, and most of it will be body fat.
When you overfed one group of elite athletes on a 4-day per week training program by 600 extra calories on average, they actually didn't gain significantly more muscle than the other group, but they did gain over 3 times the fat mass.
Productive body fat percentage zone. For women, we add about 10% body fat to that, okay? What this means is when we start to go above 15% as a man, 25% as a woman, you just start looking fat. That's it. You're not looking all that impressive. You're just looking fat. I don't care how much fat you have or how much muscle you have in your body. You just look fat. So this is unproductive because you don't need to get to that point to maximize muscle growth.
500 calories extra a day. Not going to help at all in actually building muscles. The studies will show this. And then when you diet back down, you think you have all this muscle, you didn't, it's fat and water, and you lose it all, and you're like, well, that sucks.
It's a complete fallacy that you need to bulk to build muscle, and I'll show you proof. I started training in 2022, and this is my results. And this is while lifting. I was only doing upper body once a week. Prior to the pandemic, I was really skinny, already really lean. That's because I also had a history in basketball. But then when the pandemic happened, I gained 30 pounds, I looked a lot worse, and that's when I really started training. The biggest advantage it did give me though is knowing how hard you have to train to actually see results. I'm actually stronger than I was in the last picture when I looked bigger. The most I've done was maybe some push-ups. So I only really had leg strength. That's it, from running and jumping and whatnot. If you ask anybody in the gym, I'm allergic to training upper body. I will only train legs. That's because I'm training to jump higher. So I do my leg lifts every day. I might do 1 or 2 accessory upper body lifts here and there, but overall it'll add up to about 1 day a week. You will never catch me dedicating a whole day to my upper body. The research that I have not done, but I've seen from other content creators, is showing that the healthiest range for body fat is between 10 and 15%. That's where your testosterone levels will be the highest. So with this information, can somebody tell me what the point of even bulking is? Because at this point, I think it's just a cope. Because every person I've seen go in the bulk, they've never returned from it. I've only seen probably 3 successful bulks into cuts. Everyone else just bulks and they just get stuck in that phase forever. I've never seen them cut. Now the biggest reason why I never bulked, and I'm happy I didn't, is because I train to jump higher. And for that, you need the highest relative strength, power, possible. But even if you're just training for aesthetics, hypertrophy, or strength, I still think it's a terrible idea. Let's just start with aesthetics, because this is the easiest case to prove. For aesthetics, people overestimate how big they need to be to look good. Right now I'm 180. I'm 6'2.5", 180. You don't need that much muscle to look aesthetic. My bench is not even over 2 plates. It's not even over a plate in 25s. My bench right now is literally like 160 something. It is my weakest muscle, but it just goes to show you how little strength and hypertrophy you need to actually look good. What matters more is that you're shredded. But people just say, oh, I need to get bigger to look better. I need to get bigger. But most of you guys are stronger than me, but I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I think I look pretty aesthetic. Now for your athleticism, bulking is even worse. That's because, like I said earlier, relative strength and power are gonna matter so much. And you don't need to bulk to improve your relative strength or power unless you're like close to 5% body fat. Even if you're like 9%, you're still in a good range for relative strength. That's actually the best range to be in for relative strength, is somewhere around 10%. Now it also does matter what you're training for, because if you're training for more velocity intense sports, then you'll want to be even light. Aesthetics are kind of the same thing, so I'm gonna skip that. Now when it comes to strength, this is the only one where I would actually bulk. But there's very little people who are actually training just for strength. Most of these guys you pretty much can be as big as you want, because if only strength matters, the more you weigh, the stronger you will be. But there is still a limit to how big you can be, but at this point, body fat doesn't matter at all. Bulking can give you the illusion that you're getting better. Like, don't get me wrong, you will actually get bigger from bulking, but the amount of fat you put on is just not worth it. If you don't think so, okay, let's go over it. A normal bulk is 1 pound a week. Can we agree on that? 1 pound a week. So let's say you put on 1 pound a week. Over a whole year, which is 52 weeks, that's 52 pounds. That's crazy.
Stop it. Get some help.
Like, even if you think about it, like, if you're not insane, like, actually, like, use your brain for a second.
Think, Mark, think!
You're not putting on 52 pounds of muscle in a year. How much of that do you think is fat? Probably like 70%. Even if we just do half of that, 26 pounds in a year is still crazy. Like, you're not gaining 26 pounds of muscle in a year. So let's say if we do a quarter of that, which is half of 26, which is, am I slow? 13 pounds a year. That's still a lot of weight, but that's actually like possible. 13 pounds in a year is possible, but it's still like, that's the only one that's like not Delulu. So a quarter pound a week is the only reasonable bulk I think there is. So what's the solution? In my opinion, I would just eat within 300 calories from your maintenance, so that you just don't even have to think about it. Like, let's say if my maintenance is 3,000 calories, if I eat somewhere between 2,700 and 3,300 calories a day, then I don't even have to worry about it. I can build muscle, get stronger. If I eat a little bit less, I could potentially get leaner without having to worry about going on all these cycles that just ruin your body and they don't even help you to build muscle. And counting your calories is so much work that I personally just don't do it. Like, I generally just know how much I can eat and how much I can eat to gain weight and not gain weight. If you look at the scale consistently, you can see that, oh, I'm eating too much or I'm eating too little, and you can make those micro adjustments. Personally, I'm on the infinite cut. I really don't care to get stronger or for hypertrophy. I just want to jump higher. And I used to be 160, 170, and now I'm in the 180s. I was in the 190s for a bit too, because my diet just got horrible, but yeah, I'm trying to get back down to the high 170s and see how high I can jump. So as of right now, I'm just on the infinite cut. I just see it time and time again though. Everyone's trying to bulk to get to their most aesthetic physique or their most athletic version of themselves, but it just doesn't work. By bulking, you're just running away from your objectives in the first place. Well, that's all for the video, so you can fight me in the comments. I'm ready to box all you in the comments right now.